So let's talk about month one because you are living it right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what that looked like, just even the closing process and the purchasing process of it. Because we've talked about like getting the money, saving up, credit. But I know like you had to kind of get a little creative with your financing to make that happen.
Yeah.
So what did that look like?
So I'm 22, so I graduated college a year and a half ago. So I obviously haven't been making $100,000 the past 2 years. And when you talk to a lender or a bank, they usually ask for the last 2 years of tax returns to see your income. So last year I had $40,000 income. Year before I had $20,000 income. So that's not near enough to afford, honestly, even one of the duplexes, which is $250,000, let alone two, so $500,000, or a house or any kind of property. So I and a lot of lenders turned me away. They were like, you just need to wait another year until you can show a lot more money. So finally I found a lender who would do a DSCR loan. It's DSCR, right?
Yeah.
And that goes off of the income that the properties you're buying are going to be producing. So it takes that into account. So it's not just based upon your last 2 years of tax returns.
But
so
those still require like 25% down.
Yeah, so you still have to have cash to put down, 25% down, decent credit. And I still, you have to show you're making some amount of money. So they still did need my tax returns, but I was able to buy them because we did a certain type of loan that allowed for the rental income to be incorporated into my income.
And something I feel like I didn't know this for a long time, is that just because you talk to one bank or just because you talk to one mortgage lender, like they're not all the same. They don't offer the same products, and like you can be turned down. I mean, I've been turned down for properties before, or just loan types. You can be like, I want this type of loan. Can you do this? And 5 of them would say no, and one bank would be like, yeah, we'll do it. Like,
yeah, they're all different.
They are all different. So like, don't take no for an answer.
Keep talking to them. And if you have, get a good realtor, because as a buyer, you're not usually not paying your realtor very much at all. And they should have really good connections with lenders to, help you until you find one that'll work.
Yeah, if your realtor is in experience with investing, they probably know the lending institutions that work with investors, and kind of what those lending institutions are looking for. Because even getting into like when you start really getting into investments and like more on a jumbo commercial side, it is a whole different ballgame too. So
and you really just have to, do what you can to get that first one. And then once you have that first one or two, you can, use your equity that you're building in those to help you qualify for buying more.
You have more assets.
Yeah.
And that's huge. You have so much more power to walk in and say, to get a better product.
Yeah. So get the first one done. And
it's like I said, my first loan, like it was not great. Like it had all these fees, and it just wasn't like, I would never take that loan today, but I had to do it. Like that was my way in, and I did it, and I made it work. But a loan also doesn't have to be forever. Like whatever loan you have today, you're probably not going to have in 5 years. Like regardless of what rates are doing, regardless of what the market's doing, like you're going to be, that financing, it's going to be fluid in how you structure it.
Yeah, you can always refinance. You can always change, your interest rate and whatnot. So don't be so caught up on that. For example, right now, rates some people think are high. Historically, they're not at all. But, I didn't, whether my rate was going to be 8% or 6%, it didn't matter to me because I knew these were going to build me equity for the long run. So I wasn't too caught up on my current loan terms. I just did what I had to do to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, appreciation is the biggest thing, and just building equity and net worth. That's really where it all boils down. But you closed. Let's like moving away from the money and the financing, and let's just talk about like the
now what
the nitty gritty. Like, what did you do once you closed? Like, you don't even have keys, right? Because the tenants have the keys. Like,
well, I did get keys.
Sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I mean, I signed, so now it's mine. I called all my tenants, told them I'm the new owner, and I also mailed them all a letter. And then I'm setting up a online system for payment, but I bought them on the 25th of November, so rent is due on December 1st. So I didn't really have time to get that all set up, so I just told them cash, check, whatever we have to do for this month, whatever is best for you all, and then we'll get an online system going. But yeah, I introduced myself and told them how they could pay me for the first month.
And you gave them your cell phone number, which you're probably going to regret.
I did. They have my cell phone. They don't have my address. Don't give them your address. But it's been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. They're not, calling me, telling me all these problems with them. They're not, and they've all paid me already. It wasn't as, because I got a lot of some negative comments about, why are you buying these? This is going to be a mess. You don't know how to fix things. Blah, what, they're not going to pay you.
Well, and when you're renting something too, like, tenants get nervous when things change. Like, are you going to be a good landlord? Like, so there are landlords out there that aren't good. They don't take care of things. Like, are you going to like jack the rent up on them? Like, it's nerve-wracking for the tenant too. So
talk to them.
That is really hard, is going in there and showing them like, hey, I'm going to be a good landlord. Like, I'm helping give you a great space. That is huge, because they are very nervous.
Yeah, and I mean, that's their home, so just be a good person with them.
What system are you using for like online payments and stuff like that?
I think I'm gonna do Rent Spree. Being a realtor, we get it for free. I don't know if it costs if you're not. But I'm gonna do Rent Spree, and then I think some people are still gonna want to do check, which is fine. But
I do a little bit of both. I use like a Nago. And then I still have people that do a Dropbox, although we're trying to switch that because it's 2025 and it takes a lot of.
But the first month, I mean, you just introduce yourself, tell them what they need to do, and then I've scheduled for some things to be fixed that I knew were wrong before I bought them.
Property management company. Are you having somebody manage?
No, I'm doing it myself.
And I still do mine myself. I'm up to probably 30 doors essentially, and we don't have a manager. I've heard people say, well, oh, I don't have to do anything. I'll just get a property management company. And here's the thing: when you're first starting out, if you only have like 1 or 2 properties, the property management company, you pay them a fee. A lot of them are a percentage of the income each month. And that just, to me, it delays. It's just less money coming to you. So you're delaying, you're paying down at the property. You're delaying, you're not getting as much income from it. It's going to be a little bit more work, and that's intimidating, but I think it's really hard to have 1 or 2 properties in cash flow using a property management company.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think when you're starting out, having that firsthand experience of dealing with payments, dealing with maintenance and stuff, so you actually know what you bought, what you're dealing with. Getting that hands-on experience, I think, is very important, because if you do turn it over to a property management company someday, I think the best way to know if they're doing a good job is to know what the job entails.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I don't know, any crazy story? You're what, like a few weeks in? Like,
yeah, and like a week and a day.
Broke? Has anything?
No. And it's winter, so
all the heat's turned on.
The heat is working. And I did tell them, make sure you keep your heat on, even if you go out of town, because we had a situation where pipes froze and burst, and I have PTSD from that. So
yeah, especially if you have tenants that might be from
California,
warm areas that don't realize that busting pipes are a thing. Like,
yeah,
in Missouri, you have to keep your heat on. And sometimes, I'll tell you, I've had properties where they've lived in, had heat on, and we've had busted pipes. If it gets super, super cold,
drip your sinks.
Yeah, keeping your cabinets.
Depends on the property.
If it gets super cold, you might need to turn your heat up a little higher. And then the times we've found, if it does leak, we've went ahead and put better insulation in on those places. Because sometimes you get properties and you don't know what you're walking into. You don't know. Unfortunately, everything. You just learn because it breaks, and we see, there wasn't proper insulation here. Inspections, like, you got inspections.
I did.
Yeah. What inspections did you get?
I did a sewer scope, which was really important.
Yes.
Thankfully, the lines are fine.
I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about or miss, because it's under the ground.
But that sewer line could be broken, and that can cost you so much money. So it's really important to get a sewer scope done. And then and
that's not something insurance, a lot of times that's not an insurance thing, so it's like out of your pocket money.
Yeah. And then I had a general inspector just walk through them with me. It wasn't a super formal inspection, but I did have him walk through and tell me, like, is there anything you're seeing that I'm not, anything crazy, major, expensive? So yeah, those are the two I did.
Would you have bought it? Because I think there's a lot of investment properties, they're like as-is properties. I've gotten to the point where once you've bought a decent amount, you I still do sewer a lot, and a lot of times I'll have people, there's some inspection things I do, but they're a little more limited because I just kind of know what to look for. That being said, I do end up with surprises sometimes that probably would have gotten caught, but at the end of the day, a lot of these properties are as is. Would you have bought it if it was as is?
Yeah, I would have, because there weren't crazy major things. There's things wrong, but
and you're in properties every day, like you sit in, you've seen inspections, so like if you haven't been around a lot of buying or selling a property, or you don't have a lot of knowledge of that,
you can get very scared. There was even a slight moment. I went out there one day to meet the sewer scope guy, and the tenants were outside. And they were just telling me all these things wrong. So many things. And I was like, I kind of freaked out for a minute. But then I was like, no, like, these are, you can fix these. It's not going to cost you a ton of money. So you have to have some kind of, like,
threshold,
self-assurance, and some kind of confidence and faith that it's going to be okay. You'll figure it out.
And just make sure the numbers work.
Yes.
If you're getting a really good deal on it, there's a reason you're getting a really good deal on it.
Right.
If it's pristine, you're probably not getting a good deal on it.
You're not. Yeah.
And I think that's just...
Yeah.
I recommend having inspections if you don't have knowledge of what you're doing, or you don't have you're not really handy, or have a knowledge of construction and just the house itself.
Yeah, especially like your first ones, or if you're kind of something you don't know or you're kind of weary about them, just do it. It's worth it.
And even if it's an as-is deal, and this just goes kind of back into just basic real estate, like you can still have a property inspected. It just means that you can't ask for something. And I mean, it kind of depends on how your contract's written and stuff. But most of the time, an as-is deal, you can still inspect it.
Yeah.
And even if it's not an inspector, an experienced mentor that has done this, somebody. A lot of people have their dads.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah, I mean, if you know someone who's in construction or, has owned multiple properties or what, have them walk through it with you, just get another set of eyes because it's going to make you feel better too.
Yeah, but be prepared. There's going to be things.
There are, yeah.
And a lot of investment properties too, the mechanicals are older a lot of times. Like you're getting a deal for a reason, and just be prepared. And that again is where having cash.
Yeah, like I know on one of mine, the roof, it's probably got 5 years left. So, I'm going to count on putting a new roof on it in 5 years, stuff like that. But yeah, nothing to make me not want to buy them. So, yeah. But no, nothing crazy's happened to me yet. I'm sure I will.
Famous last words.
Yeah, hopefully not. I should have said that. But yeah, that's been my first week.
Yeah.
It's been good.
You got insurance set up.
Yeah. Insurance. The broker's
taxes.
great.
So are your taxes with this loan? Do they escrow them or? Because I open my mailbox, and once you pay off properties or some certain loans, you aren't required to escrow. So taxes aren't taken out in your payment each month, so you get stuck with fun little bills at the end of the year. So make sure you are paying attention. Like, are your taxes escrowed in your mortgage, or are you going to have a bill at the end of the year? Because that plays a part into it, and you have to save for that too. I remember the first few years I owned rental property that didn't have tax escrowed, and it was a shock. I mean, you just you know it's coming, but you're never prepared for it. So be prepared for that. But that's covered, so that's good.
Yeah, just have a little cash for emergencies, and be prepared. Have a good mindset. It's gonna work out.
And follow along as we take this journey together.
Yeah.